Often, when we focus just on fundamentals, we reach a point when we stop getting better, and we may even find that our performance starts to degrade. One reason this often happens is because we just stop paying close attention. And when you just start going through the motions, it often degrades your performance. An insight that we need to understand with regard to repeating specific weaknesses is the fact that they often occur through a combination of small errors in multiple fundamentals. Now, what makes this a little tricky is the fact that many small errors don't lead to a big performance problem, and therefore they don't require a lot of attention. So the trick to identifying the critical repeating specific weaknesses is to find that combination of small errors that when they occur, they do lead to significant performance degradation. Now, let me give you a few examples. In the case of my golf game, there were three repeating specific weaknesses that I had. One had to do with my grip on the club. Another one had to do with the way I placed the golf club face down behind the ball. And a third had to do with my stance. Any one of these issues, these small errors, might not have been a big problem, but the combination of these was deadly to my golf game. When it came to my running, there were three main issues that I had found. One had to do with starting the runs too fast. The second one had to do with a poor stride. And the third had to do with putting too much stress on my calf because I wasn't pulling my left leg at the right time. What I did was to start to put in place an alert in my head, a warning sign, to be aware of that stress on my left calf. That became a sign that told me I needed to put a change in place to address this problem. Otherwise, I knew my endurance would not maintain my stride through the rest of the run. With one of my software development clients, their key repeating specific weakness had to do with a combination of software testing, peer reviews, and making changes to a certain critical component, which led to a significant defect being found by the customer. Now, let me talk about how we solved these problems. In the case of my golf game, I taught myself to be on the lookout, be alert to the ball going short and fading. That was a signal to me that my repeating specific weakness was coming back, and I needed to put a change in place to pay more attention to my setup. In the case of my running, I taught myself to be aware of my left calf and when I could feel the stress coming, because that told me it was time to quickly make a change to my stride that would help me get into a more efficient running that would keep my endurance through the run. In the case of my software development client, we taught the team to be on the lookout for any changes in that critical component so they would immediately know to pay close attention to make sure they did adequate testing and reviews so they didn't send a major defect to the customer. So what I'm wanting you to take from this, the secret to solving any repeating specific weakness has to do with first teaching yourself or your team to be alert, to be on the lookout for a signal, a warning sign that you're aware of that one of your repeating specific weaknesses is about to come back. And then be aware that you need to take rapid action to put a correction in place so that you can be on the top of your game before any damage is done to it.